12 Secret Underwater Discoveries. The world's oceans cover 70% of the planet's surface, and yet only 5% of the ocean has been researched. Just imagine how many more mysteries the ocean hides. Which one was your favorite? Tell us in the comments section and subscribe to our channel for more underwater mysteries and all things fun. Number 12. A 125-year-old beer bottle. John Krause, a treasure hunter and an amateur scuba diver from Nova Scotia, found an antique bottle of beer at the bottom of Halifax Harbor, and like most of us, he thought only one thing: is it drinkable? Not wanting to take a risk and end up in the hospital, he took the beer to a fermentation specialist in the Dalhousie University lab for a test. After it was labeled safe to drink, John, along with his friend and beer bar owner Christopher, tasted the 125-year-old beer, and according to them, the beer had a very strong rotten egg smell, little tree fruit note, and cherry note. I suppose after tasting, they went to the nearest supermarket and bought Heineken. Number 11. The Yonaguni Monument. The Yonaguni Monument, found off the coast of the Ryukyu Islands in Japan, hides one of the world's biggest underwater mysteries. Ever since it was discovered by a group of divers back in 1987, this perplexing underwater rock formation has fascinated scientists and extraterrestrial believers. For the second group, this monument stands as clear evidence for the existence of an advanced civilization, and it was probably built by ancient aliens. However, scientists have argued that thousands of years of erosion and strong currents have carved the rock formations, proving once again that nature is the best architect. Alien-made artifact or natural formation? Decide for yourself. Number 10. The Lion City. Xichang, or the so-called Lion City, located in the province of Zhejiang, was once an important economic and political center in eastern China. But in 1959, the Chinese authorities decided to build a man-made lake referred to as Qiandao Lake and a hydroelectric station to generate power. The Lion City, named after the surrounding Lion Mountains, was completely flooded and submerged along with 1,300 villages. Its 290,000 citizens were relocated and the city was nowhere to be found. Well, except 130 feet underwater. After 53 years of oblivion, the historical metropolis built 1,300 years ago was rediscovered. You can dive into the beautiful, almost intact ancient ruins that will take your breath away. Number 9. Cursed Emeralds. One sunny day in Key West, Florida, Jay Miskovich, amateur diver and treasure hunter, walks into a bar and buys a $500 treasure map from his diver friend. Although Jay is almost broke, he believes that the map leads to a great fortune. 3 years later, he makes one of the greatest underwater treasure discoveries in history by finding tens of thousands of raw emeralds in the Gulf of Florida. So far, the story of Jay Miskovich seems too good to be true, and you would have thought he is a multimillionaire by now. Turns out that finders keepers, losers weepers didn't apply to his case. Mr. Miskovich hired a lawyer to represent him in the federal court, where the trial could last for years. Desperate and $10 million in debt, he committed suicide, never cashing in on his find. Number 8. The Coral Reef Tomb. Nothing says creepy like 60 headless skeletons at the bottom of the ocean. Back in 2008 and 2009, a group of archaeologists started excavating an old coral reef in the Pacific Ocean only to discover an ancient 3,000-year-old cemetery. The skeletons belong to the people of Vanuatu, a nation consisting of 83 islands located 1,750 kilometers off the coast of Australia. The way people were buried is definitely different than the rest of the world, and by different we mean disturbing. Apparently, people were not very fond of their dead relatives, since some of them had their legs and arms broken just so they can fit into the reef's cavities. In addition, they were left to rot first and then buried. As for the skulls, they were proudly displayed in their relatives' homes. Number 7. Stonehenge, Michigan Lake. Of all the prehistoric stone monuments discovered around the world, seems like Stonehenge from the UK is the most popular one. Well, at least on dry ground. In 2007, scientists from Northwestern Michigan University College discovered unique rock formations in Traverse Bay on Lake Michigan. Now, Michigan has its own Stonehenge underwater and a boulder with a prehistoric carving of a mastodon. The mastodon markings could be an ancient petroglyph from the post-Ice Age era, 10,000 years ago when humans and mastodons lived in the upper Midwest. Number 6. The Apollo 11 engines. We all remember the historic Apollo 11 mission in 1969 when Neil Armstrong spoke the famous statement, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Who can forget that? But not as many remember that the landing of the first men on the moon was powered by a Saturn V rocket with 5 forceful engines that were dropped into the Atlantic Ocean and forgotten soon after. Forgotten, that is, until 4 years ago. Turns out, when you're super rich and buying a multi-million-dollar yacht just doesn't cut it anymore, you finance a private expedition to find the 5 F-1 rocket engines. Jeff Bezos, we're talking to you. It's no wonder that Bezos, Amazon's CEO and owner of an aerospace company that is working to develop a space taxi, successfully recovered 2 engines from the ocean floor. Number 5. Lost silver from World War II. In 1941, the SS Gersapa, a British merchant ship, set sail from Calcutta with a precious cargo of 2,800 silver bars, meant to boost Britain's war chest. After battling low coal reserves and a heavy storm, the ship was forced to head for Galway Harbor, where it was sunk by a German U-boat just 300 miles off the coast of Ireland. The SS Gersapa was found 70 years later, in 2011, by a U.S. marine company cleverly named Odyssey. It took 5 years and a remotely operated submarine to recover 48 tons of silver bullion from the shipwreck, making it the largest recovery of precious metal in maritime history. Are you calculating in your head how much that silver is worth? Let's make it easy for you. $55 million. If you want a piece of that treasure, there are 20,000 silver coins edged with the name SS Gersapa waiting for you to buy them. Number 4. The Galleon San Jose. The Spanish Galleon San Jose sunk in a battle in June of 1708. She was carrying precious stones, silver, and gold from South American countries that were colonized by the Spanish Empire to finance a war against the British Empire. Known as the most valuable shipwreck in maritime history with an estimated worth of $1 billion US, the San Jose was discovered 300 years later close to the city of Cartagena, Colombia. Among treasure hunters, she will be remembered as the Holy Grail of Shipwrecks. Number 3. The lost Egyptian city of Heracleion. The city of Thonis, or Heracleion as the ancient Greeks used to call it, flourished from the 6th to the 4th century BC. The Egyptian city sank in the Mediterranean Sea somewhere around the 8th century AD, leaving no trail or evidence. For centuries, people thought that Heracleion was nothing more than a legend, a mythical city that was visited by Helen of Troy and her lover. Thankfully, the city was discovered in 2000, submerged under 30 feet of water in the Bay of Aboukir. Ever since, scientists discovered thousands of small and giant statues, 64 ships, stones inscribed in ancient Egyptian and limestone sarcophagi. Parts of the city have been excavated, giving us a glimpse into its wealth and importance in the ancient times. Number 2. The ANTIKYTHERA mechanism. The ancient Greeks gave us philosophy, mathematics, theater, the Olympic Games, and much more. Long before Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, the the Greeks gave us the world's first analog computer, also known as the ANTIKYTHERA mechanism. This sophisticated mechanical device was discovered in 1900 near Antikythera Island after it had been in the Aegean Sea for nearly 2,000 years. Scientists believe that it was used as an ancient computer capable of calculating astronomical events. This scientific artifact was so well made that nothing close to its complexity was seen in Europe until medieval times, thousands of years later. Number 1. The Underwater River. The Underwater River is a discovery straight out of Ripley's Believe It or Not. The man behind this discovery is not SpongeBob SquarePants, but a photographer with a passion for diving named Anatoly Balashchin. He traveled to the Mexican province of Yucatan to witness an angelita, or scientifically speaking, a deep sinkhole called a cenote, formed as a result of limestone bedrock collapse. Over time, the cenotes are filled with rainwater and the fresh water meets the salty groundwater eventually. By having different levels of density, the two waters layer, creating a breathtaking image.